What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Cinema Corner. Now, before I start talking about 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, I do want to highlight the fact that I have been fairly inactive on the channel lately, and that's something that might not change in the near future just because I've been very busy with a lot of things in life. It's just, there's a lot going on right now. But I'm still watching movies. I'm still logging every single one of them on Letterboxd. So if you want to see my ratings up to date, every single one of them, make sure you follow me on there. I did post a review last year for 28 Years Later, which was directed by Alex Garland and is a pseudo sequel to the previous two films in the franchise. And if you watched that review, you'll know that I wasn't a massive fan of the film. I had a lot of issues with it. So I was going into this one cautiously optimistic. It is not directed by Danny Boyle like the previous one was. Nia DaCosta has stepped in to direct. This movie kind of blew me away for a number of reasons. First and foremost being that it is a January release. I cannot remember the last time I watched a movie in January that I was this compelled by in theaters. And this is a massive step up from the first one in my eyes. Some people might have the opposite reaction. Again, it's all very subjective, and I know I was in the minority with my opinion on 28 Years Later. But The Bone Temple feels like a continuation of the story and yet also something totally different. Much like the previous one, it does have a lot of tones going on, but it felt so much more cohesive to me. And I don't know what's different here because Alex Garland is writing just like he has written every other entry in this franchise. Obviously, we have a new director, and I love that she still has the ability to tell a story visually speaking. I mean, she has a very clear directorial voice, and yet it doesn't feel like she's trying to copy Boyle's style either. Until the last 5 minutes, which are very jarring, just like the last 5 minutes of the previous film, it feels like a contained story in this world. We follow two storylines, one of them that pretty much picks off right where the previous film left off, and the other one follows Ralph Fiennes' character, who we were also introduced to in the previous movie. Only one of those storylines gets much of a conclusion, but I was so utterly compelled by the characters and the ideas that it didn't really matter to me in the end. This gives me pretty much everything I could possibly want out of this franchise. I mean, it highlights the humanity, the benevolence that can exist in this post-apocalyptic world, but it also highlights the absolute bleak sadism that can creep into humanity and corrupt it in this type of situation. There's one scene that is so disgustingly violent that I would argue it almost crosses a line. And I say almost because it's not that it doesn't service the story, I just think maybe they didn't need to show as much as they did. It's quite graphic, so if you're bothered by that kind of stuff, you might not want to see this. But it is an utterly fascinating film. I could have used a little bit more of Spike from the previous movie. He kind of gets sidelined here in favor of focusing on Ralph Fiennes' doctor and Jack O'Connell, who is great, actually fantastic, I should say, as the leader of this cult of Jimmies. There's so much in here that shouldn't work, but it just does, man. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. Can't believe I'm recommending a January movie this highly, but yeah, go check this one out. I am absolutely seated for the 3rd installment when it comes out next year, maybe? I can't remember. As always, guys, thanks for clicking on this video. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and leave your thoughts down in the comments. If you want more videos like this, I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later.